What is Kafkaesque? Kafkaesque is a form of writing that a man named Franz Kafka made to add reminiscent of oppressive or nightmarish qualities to his fictional worlds. Some characteristics of Kafkaesque are making people feel as if they are alienized, dehumanized, and sometimes create a sense of anxiety. In the story, The Metamorphosis, the narrator says, he got into the habit of closely watching it for 1 to 2 hours before it opened, and then, lying in the darkness of his room, where he could not be seen from the living room, he could watch the family in the light of the dinner table and listen to their conversation, with everyone's permission, in a way, and thus differently from before. The character's family had isolated themselves from him.
Instagram is a free app used to socialize and upload photos and
he had
videos.
become.
It is a platform that allows others to express themselves and connect with their friends. So why does this have a negative impact on your mental health? Instagram causes things such as the feeling of isolation from the world, which can create a form of anxiety or alienation, which is why Instagram is a source for Kafkaesque to enter the real world.
It can be an addiction at times, scrolling there at the hours as watching other people living the life you wish you had. Through all the different platforms, society has made a false reality of what is normal. You get more vulnerable for cyberbullying if you don't have what everyone else has. Everyone on these apps purposely try to make people feel isolated, dehumanized for the certain things they don't have, just to fit in. Instagram is one of those apps that set a standard for people, and if you don't meet them, you're an outcast. When a study can talk about the goods and bads of a topic, it shows that the study doesn't have a bias. Some ways the study says social media is useful is for people that are trying to connect with new people. It's shown to be an easier way to socialize, especially during a pandemic where no one was able to really go out. And some negatives are children are having more access to inappropriate or harmful content. This is also Kafkaesque because of the cyberbullying that happens on these platforms. Psychological studies have linked cyberbullying to depression, anxiety, and risk for suicidal thinking.
Anxiety is something damn near every teenager or young person has to face in their life, and Instagram is the cause of it. People tend to face their anxieties such as self-judgment, the fear of the world's perception of you, and a popular one, FML, also known as fear of missing out. Watching and looking at celebrities live their lives with nice bodies, money, and cars that we don't have, which will play with our insecurities and will inflame those negative thoughts we already have about ourselves. Instagram has young people going through a compare and despair mindset. When having Instagram, you are more vulnerable to cyberbullying from other people on the app, which can contribute to anxiety, depression, shame, envy, leading to self-criticism, to lack of self-worth, and it rapidly undermines any confidence one has for themselves. In a study done by My Doctor, it says that psychological studies have linked cyberbullying to depression, anxiety, and risk for suicidal thinking. Teenagers are particularly vulnerable to cyberbullying, and the lack of necessary actions at appropriate time might lead to severe consequences. The main reason you are feeling so anxious is because you are spending plenty of hours comparing aspects of yourself to other people. You will see anything on Instagram, like people in relationships, good-looking people, shoes that you can't afford, or people getting better opportunities in life. Instagram takes us from reality and puts us in our minds and thoughts, then compares things that we look at as perfect because we nearly have it or we don't have it, which puts us in the most vulnerable thoughts. People are so insecure enough to Photoshop themselves into an image that they desire themselves to be. Instagram and other social media sites are just another way to market and advertise products. So the images and lifestyle shots we see aren't always 100% authentic. All these reasons connect to Instagram being a main reason source of anxiety for teenagers. This can simulate a form of Kafkaesque in real life. After all the things we just stated, we aren't saying stop using Instagram. We are just making more people aware of the mental challenges you might face while using Instagram. One of the biggest ways you could help your mental health is cut down of usage of platforms like Instagram. These things don't always develop with people that uses the platforms like Instagram. You do have to take into account that a high amount of consumers being children, their minds haven't fully developed. So they are easier to be corrupt than grown adults. Since their target are young people, it is easier for them to use these platforms, which can lead to potential problems, not just in the US, but all over the world. Like J. Cole said, oh wait, that's irrelevant.
Late nights I just cry in the dark. I was like, now when I lost my heart. Since a kid I've been thugging it out. All of this pain I've been puffing it out. All I ever know is pain and sorrow. Love me today, might not be here tomorrow. So go be second toe to a person. Stay in my bag, yeah, I stay in my Birkin.